In this video, we're going to continue talking about the product rule for exponents, but we're going to look at problems that are slightly different because these problems have a coefficient or a big number out in front of our variable, our base. So what happens when we have something in front of our base? So if we were to take this first example, 3x squared times 2x to the third, we can practice writing this out. So 3x squared we would write as 3 times x, and then 2x squared we would write 2x to the third would be 2 times x times x times x. So this is the same as before, where we would just count up all of our x's, right? So we would have x to the fifth, but we have to multiply the big numbers, these coefficients. They actually get multiplied. So 3 times 2 is 6. So that would go out front. So the way to do that when using our product rule, we can still use our product rule for this, right? We can still add 2 and 3 and end up with 5, like we did down here. But we have to multiply our two coefficients. Those numbers get multiplied. So that's where it gets a little confusing. You multiply our big coefficients out front, but you still add the exponents when using the product rule. So let's try this again with another example. So this time we've got 5x to the fourth times 5x. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at my coefficients. I have 5 times 5. These are actually multiplied. So 5 times 5 gets us 25. Now I can worry about my exponents. So I have x to the fourth and I have x. Now remember, we talked about this in the last video. If there is no number written above x for an exponent, it really means 1. So we can write 1 there if that helps us remember, or you can just remember there's one x there, so I need to count 1. So using my product rule, I'm going to add my exponents to find my new exponents. So x to the fourth times x would get me x to the fifth. So if I was doing 5x to the fourth times 5x, my final answer would be 25 times x to the fifth. Let's do one more example. So here we have 4x to the sixth times 6x to the third. So first, let's look at our coefficients, our big numbers out front. We've got 4 and we've got 6. These get multiplied. It's a multiplication problem. We have to multiply the big numbers. So 4 times 6 is 24. Then we can worry about our x's. We've got x to the sixth and x to the third. So my product rule tells me that I am adding my exponents. So I'm going to do 6 plus 3 to get my new exponent, which is 9. So 4x to the sixth times 6x to the third gets me 24x to the ninth. So you can think of these as two different problems. You're multiplying the large numbers, the coefficients, and then you're using the product rule for your exponents.